closest to me that way, wide receiver Brock Recksteiner, quarterback Gavin Wimsat, running back Cam Cook, and on the end is tight end Pearson Baldwin. Questions for the group, Max?
Just Gavin, you obviously came here this all season. What kind of went into your decision to come here? And I guess Cam too. Just kind of what was your decision to come here?
I would say a big part, obviously, Coach Kelly and Coach Trickett played a huge part in me coming here. And, you're good.
What's up?
Sorry about that, guys. But Coach Kelly and Coach Trickett definitely played a huge part in me coming here. And what we wanted to do here, and what we discussed. And I think there was already a culture here, a winning culture, from last season, and just wanted to continue that, and wanted to be part of something great. So.
Yeah, I would say for me it was pretty much the same. I was building that relationship with Coach Thurman, and then obviously Coach Trickett introducing me to his style of offense and how he was going to do things here really opened my eyes. So I just knew this was going to be a good place for me.
Pearson and Brock, you guys were recruited, 2 administrations ago under Coach Gross. How would you describe the changes, people who have been here for, not just for Rich Rod, but for Coach Gross as well?
We've just been growing a lot as a program. I think every year we've gotten bigger and just continue to grow as a program.
Yeah, kind of like what Brock said. Our freshman year we were FCS, so it was a little bit different mindset because there was no chance for us going to a college football playoff besides the FCS playoff, and then just the cultures of just wanting to be the best, and right now we're just trying to win every game and be the best we can be.
Been behind a lot of really good tight ends at Jax State. It's kind of feels like it's kind of your time to kind of take over. Just how have you been embracing that opportunity to be a leader in this tight end room more so?
Yeah, especially playing behind Sean for 4 years, just taking what he and some of the other older guys have taught me and just embrace what it means to be a leader for this team and just lead by example on and off the field.
Coach Trickett, share some thoughts on these 4 guys, what they meant to you in getting assimilated into Jax State and how you've developed them.
Oh, these guys, they're pretty special. I want to thank each one of their parents, because they all raised them the right way. I tell them all the time, they make coming to work very fun. They make doing our job very fun, and at times easy. And when it's hard, it's not on them. So that's what I was doing in there, trying to get better plays so we can call them to put it in better places to be successful. So sorry for the late arrival, but no, these guys are special, and make every day fun, even when it is a grind, which we embrace it around here, but they make the grind that much more enjoyable.
Joe?
Yeah, Clint, Charles Kelly talked about how he wants to run to win, throw to score. Practically, what do fans look for in that, in terms of how you call a game?
Look at these guys right here. They make the plays work. We can call whatever we want if these 11 guys are going in the right direction. We got plenty of running and throwing and scoring right here between these 4, and there's even more in that locker room. The offensive line we got in front of us is going to give us the ability to do both. So what it looks like is executing play in and play out, no matter what the play is called. Being able to hit them up the middle, hit them on the edges, throw it vertically, throw it in the flats, and be able to just be dangerous in all facets. That's what we want to do, and not just be able to be handcuffed into one certain type of offense. We want to be very multiple, but at the end of the day, we do run that football here, so we're definitely going to do that.
Right.
In practice, you throw a lot of deep balls. Is that in your game plan?
Absolutely. Like we said, we're going to run it, and if they want to and have to put the extra hat in the box, which they're going to, that's when you have to stretch the field vertically. And we got, Brock Pearson can help us in that as well. We got plenty of guys in that receiver room as well. These quarterbacks have been phenomenal. Gavin throws a great deep ball. But then that'll just open it up for these backs, Cam, and that O-line to go to work.
Let's go Max and Thomas.
Clint, just what have you seen out of the quarterbacks and just Gavin, kind of how's it been getting here and just kind of with all the newcomers?
I've been very pleased with them, all of them. Gavin especially, he's came in and done everything we've asked him to do. You know, sometimes people think when you come from a Power 5, Power 4 to a Group 5, they're settling or something. That's not at all what's going on here. If anything, we're putting the foot on the gas a little more. I've been very pleased with from day one. He's been a very extremely coachable person, and enjoyable to coach, and done everything we've asked him to do, from top to bottom, on and off the field. So, you know, that's why, hopefully he's seen some improvements. I've seen a lot in him, and, you know, we're gonna continue to do that. Seen that in the rest of the room. You know, Cade Cunningham, from when I had him at Marshall, completely, you know, changed, developed, and I'm very excited about the way he's progressed, and Cade and Krill as well. I mean, kid does a phenomenal job in there when he gets his opportunities of creating and making things happen, and couldn't be more delighted with his deep ball accuracy as well. So two young freshmen, Jack Moran and Caden Mitchell, have done a phenomenal job as well, along with our stalwart Greg Jones. So very happy.
For me, I think probably one of the biggest things just coming in here with just growing as a quarterback, and you know, all through spring and summer and you know, in training camp, each and every day that's really been the goal. And I think that's been a thing that's been going on, been growing every day. And also just to help the other quarterbacks in the room, really, especially when like the young freshman like Caden Mitchell, he tells me like he remembers seeing me at Rutgers, you know, playing for them. So just stuff like that, and you kind of realize like I have been playing college football for a long time. So just helping those guys out, and you know, answering those questions for them, and helping them grow as well is a big part. So, yeah.
Okay. Thomas, Eli, and Paris.
On that note, Coach, you have so many guys who, on the wide receiver room, who played a lot of football. You know, guys like Michael Pelé might be older than you at this point. Like, you know, just what's it been like, you know, having a lot of guys that have played a lot of college football, and where does the receiver, you know, room sit right now?
Right. I'm very happy with that room. Bunch of great guys, bunch of talented guys. That, you know, the ones that decided to stay, I'm very thankful and appreciative for that. Brock being one of them, Pearson being another, obviously the tight end room. But you know, we did bring in DeAndre Johnson, who was with Gavin at Rutgers as well. So very happy with his you know, development in that room. Caleb Coombs is a newcomer this summer, after the spring, who was with me at Marshall, was my leading receiver there my last year as an OC. So feel comfortable with him, and even though it is a different offense, he's going to add depth to that slot receiver room, with Petway and Dylan Gentry as well, who came in from Auburn. Very happy with his progression and what he can do for us. Very, very crafty. And you know, obviously there's a lot of guys that can get the ball in that room. Very happy about them and excited about them. And Brock, just, you know, his size speed ratio for the type of, you don't usually see that. Usually when you're, you know, 6'3", 228 or whatever he is now, you know, you can't really run and get off the ball and have quick twitch like he does. So we're very excited about that, and he's going to have an opportunity in many facets after this year, but you know, football especially.
Eli.
Yeah, let's talk about, you mentioned getting better, improving and so on. As a quarterback, you are your own most severe critic. What do you have to work on when you look at that guy staring back at you in the mirror? What do you have to work on?
For me, I'd say the biggest thing for me was how consistent can I be on a day in, day out basis, just with everything. And that comes with all parts of being a quarterback, the leadership part, you know, showing by example, you know, just doing the right things all around. And that was just a huge part in my growth. I feel like just how consistent can I be with everything I do. And also with being my biggest self-critic, something I had talked about at the Manning camp. Peyton Manning had talked about it. Being your biggest critic, but also giving yourself that grace. You know, when you do make good plays, give yourself grace. Like, that was a good ball. That was a good play right there. Good decision. So you can't be too hard on yourself, because that the inner voice is always going to be there, and you can't have a negative inner voice, going into your head every play. So I think that was a huge thing. Just really, how consistent can I be, and how can I get better at being consistent? Because say past years that was a thing I wanted to grow at, and it's something that I have grown at and still trying to get better at. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mike, Thomas, and Austin.
For Brock and for Pearson, your third different offense, I guess, in the time you've been here, right? Terminology and everything. Has it been any kind of adjustment for you guys adapted to the new system?
I would definitely say it's an adjustment just because it's a different offense, but I would say that we were able to pick up on it and embrace it and just fit right into it.
For me, I like it much better just because I'm gonna get more opportunities for myself personally. And I think, it's been a growing process to learn the offense, but I think we've done a good job.
Why the number changes your last year's here?
This was my high school number, and it just felt right to go back to it.
Yeah, me too. This is my high school number.
Thomas?
Coach, just, can you talk about whenever you're looking back and, with your dad being here already, can you talk about the process of just getting here and, did he pitch to you at all to come here or anything? And have you been to Cooter Browns yet?
Oh, yeah, yes, definitely been to Cooter Browns,
Good.
100% had to do that within the first week.
Good.
But no, yeah, he didn't have to pitch much. Coach Kelly and when me and Coach Kelly and I have been trying to get together for a while now. And so then when the stars aligned perfectly here, with him and my father already being on staff, there was no pitch. It was, all right, when do you need me? So, and then who do I need to call? I think of the day I got hired, I was pretty much talking to most of these guys, and so that's kind of was it. The day we got it, we hit the ground running, and never been looking back.
You and your dad your dad has a really good relationship with Coach Kelly, going back a long time. Just what do you remember about him? Your earliest memories.
Coach Kelly, Coach Kelly. From when I was at Florida State, he got there in the spring of my last year, and you could tell there was a change on that side of the ball with Coach Stoops leaving to be the head coach of Kentucky, and then you had Coach come in, and was very excited about what him and Coach Pruitt were going to bring to that side, and wanted to remain, but there was a guy named Jameis Winston there who had other plans. So I went up to West Virginia and had an all right career. So I've known Coach Kelly, as a little bit as a player. He was around in Auburn when my dad was originally there. I was young, very young, so that was when I was a baby. But I always known that Coach Kelly, this is probably the best thing you can say about Coach Kelly. There's not many men in this business that my father is friends with, and my father's always been friends with Coach Kelly, no matter where they've been. They've always kept in touch. When they were together at Florida State, I'd never seen him go to a assistant coach's house as much as he did Coach Kelly's. So they've always been extremely close. And then I knew there was something special about that guy if, Coach Trickett, actually likes hanging out with him. So, you don't like hanging out with many people. So,
This is the
there's
first
something.
time that y'all been together, right? You and your dad?
Well, I played at Florida State when, as a coach, yes it is. So 100% different relationship, player to coach, as coach to coach. So yes, sir, it is our first time together.
Austin?
Yeah, I got one for Pearson. Your predecessor, Sean Brown, would call himself an extra offensive lineman more than he called himself a tight end. So I just want to see how you feel about your role in the offense. Where does that stand for you?
A little bit different than that. Definitely like getting the ball more than blocking, but I can still block, get the job done. But I just like being used in whichever way possible, routes, blocking, anything.
Max?
Clint, you obviously got some fun tools here. You got Brock, and then Cam and these, Pearson. And then also DeAndre, 6'8", runs 22 miles an hour. Just how fun is that when you're going up there and so you're making plays? How much fun do you have doing that?
It is fun, and they do make it work, and it's just how many times can I get each guy the ball, but then it's also we got to get them to Saturday too, so sometimes they want a little more, and sometimes I'm like, hey, I'm just you're good to go. We're gonna get you ready for the game as much as we need. So I know they want touches in practice a lot. I tell them all the time, trust me, you're gonna get your touches. So they make it fun though, because they make it work. These guys are special players, each one of them. That's why they're up here, and we're gonna try to get them as much as we can equally, and they're all equally explosive. So that's my job.
Back to Austin.
Yeah, I just got one more for Cam. We saw a really dominant run game last year, and I think a lot of people are expecting the same this year out of you guys. Where do you stand on that running back room? How do you feel about that room, and how you guys have been working this past fall camp?
Yeah, so I've said this before, but I think we have a dominant running back room. When you look at every back in our room, you can't spot one thing that's similar between each back. So you put a different back out there, you're gonna get a different run, you're gonna get a different play style. But I just think we have a lot of dogs in there, and everybody wants to eat. So I just think we have a good group of guys in there.
All right, Thomas.
Coach Pearson's a guy that's been here a long time and kind of, sat behind a lot of really good athletes. What have you seen out of him, and also in your offense? What's kind of your philosophy with tight ends and how they run in your offense?
Very, very important. That creates an extra gap in the run game when we attach them, but then they got to be able to create a mismatch out there if it's a small nickel body in the route game, or if it's a big linebacker in the passing game. So, my first job was a tight end coach with Harrison Bryant and Mackey Award winner at FAU. And Pearson does a lot of things that Harrison did well, and that's why he's a special player. And Harrison Hampley also in that room. There's a lot of guys. There's some young ones we're very excited about. So, very excited about what we have to work with this year and the future. But Pearson's been just everything, like all these guys, everything we've asked him to do, from a guy who just works his butt off from day one, and probably was a lot overlooked, is now reaping the rewards he deserves, both him and Brock. And I mean, shoot, I could brag on all of these guys. This guy right here, I've been around a lot of talented backs, and he is super special. I'm very excited that we have him, and he has a great head on his shoulders. That's probably what separates him. And I mean, we got a wealth of riches up here, and like I said, I'm very fortunate to have him.
Awesome. Guys, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it.
Sorry, didn't.